Hi, good morning everyone. Children, today I am taken and discussing with you about Introduction to Economics of 8th standard. This lesson I was explained with you in the last class. Economics. What is economics? Economics is a part of social science which deals with the economic activities of a man is called economics. Father of economics is Adam Smith. In 1776 he was introduced his famous book Wealth of Nation. From that year, he declared father of economics. Children, we learned in the last class producers, consumers, distributors. All we discussed in the last class. Now, I will take and discuss with you about the next topic of this lesson. Economy. The organization of economics is known as economy. Right. Adam Smith once he says, what is economics? According to him, study of wealth. As like this Adam Smith, A.C. Pigou. A.C. Pigou, one of the economists, he says, what is economics? According to him, economics is not only enlightened but also satisfied our wants. It is called economics according to A.C. Pigou. So, we learned in the last class about this all topic. Now, we will go to discussing with you about economic activities. Economic activities. We would like to discuss about this topic. In our daily life, we use various goods and services. That all goods and services are limited in supply. So they were not supplied for free of cost. That goods and services are called economic goods and services. The goods and services are not supplied for free of cost. That goods and services are called economic goods and services. In our daily life, we use our skill and labor to earn money. That money helps us to satisfy our wants. So that type of activity is called economic activity. Means we perform various activities in order to earn money and wealth. That activities are called economic activities. We perform various activities in order to earn money. Why we earn money? To satisfy our wants. Everyone can doing any profession or a job. called a economic activity. ನೋಡಿ, ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾಲಘಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಹಣಕಾಸನ್ನ ಗಳಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ. ಹಣ ಏತಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕು? ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂತ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹಣ ಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂತ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಎಂತ ಮೂಲಕ? ಹಣದ ಮೂಲಕ. ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಲೇಬರ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಇಂಟೆಲೆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಲೇಬರ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಏನಾದರೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಹಣವನ್ನು ಗಳಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸರಿನಾ? ಹಾಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಟೀಚರ್ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರೀಯಾಗಿ ಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯೋಲ್ಲ. ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅದನ್ನ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇದು ಎಕಾನಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಫ್ರೀ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ that is not an economic activity. That is a service, just only a service, free of service. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನು ಗಳಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಪ್ರತಿನಿತ್ಯ ನಡೆಸತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ರೈಟ್. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ there are four types of economic activities. There are production activity, and consumption activities, consumption activity, consumption activity, exchange activity, and distribution activity. So these are all basically economic activities. Yes, production activity, consumption activity, exchange activity, next distribution activities. These are all basic economic activities of human being. Firstly, production activity. Production activity, producer, he can play a very important role here. He understood the consumer wants. According to the wants of the consumer, he can produce the goods and services. So that activity engaged by the producer. His aim is only to earn a profit. So for that reason he can engage various production units. So this is the production activity. Nextly, consumption activity. Consumer activity, consumption activity. The person who buys goods and services for satisfy his wants, that person is called a consumer. What is the aim of the consumer? To satisfy his want. So consumer who buys the goods and services, that person is called a consumer. To satisfy his wants, that activity we call as consumption activity. The person who buys the goods and service. Nextly, exchange. You know children, producer produced the goods to reach the consumer. So when the goods reach the consumer, producer's effort is successful, because producer aim only to satisfy the wants of the consumer. For that reason, in the exchange activity, selling of goods and buying of goods, selling and buying are played in the exchange activities. So this is exchange. The next one is distribution. Distribution, it is producer, he organized the industry or a business to produce the goods and services. The producers aim earn profit. And next one, to satisfy the wants of the consumer. When he can earn profit, that profit or money can be distributed among the factors of production. Money distributed among the factors of production. Which are the factors of production? Yes, I have written here. Look at the board. Land, labor, capital, organization. These are all the factors of production: land, labor, capital, organization. Among these factors of production, profit distributed. In the production process, at that time, producer he can determine the fixation of price on the good and the cost of the production. So these all the activities are taken in the distribution activities. So these are called as economic activities. Look at the board: production, consumption, exchange, distribution. These are all the economic activities. And factors of production, there are four: land, labor, capital, organization. These are all the factors of production. So these all the activities are engaged by human being for earn money. That money will use for satisfaction of wants of the consumer. Like these are all called economic activities. Next, we will come micro and macroeconomics. Children, micro and macroeconomics. Microeconomics and macroeconomics. Now I will go to directly discussing with you about these two, micro and macroeconomics. First, now I have taken here microeconomics. Micro means small. Micro means small. Macro means large or total. Micro means small, macro means large. So, microeconomics means, what is the meaning of microeconomics? Microeconomics means to study decision making, to use the resources in a simple society, namely household, individual and business firm. That is called a microeconomics. Once again, to study the decision making, to use the resources in a small society, namely individual, household and business firm. That economics is called a microeconomics. expenditure. So this is known as microeconomics. Microeconomics means small. Microeconomics means to study the decision making, use the resources in a small society, namely individual, household and business firm. That is called a microeconomics. But macroeconomics, what did it say? Macroeconomics means it studied the economic level, economic at the aggregate level. To study the economy at the aggregate level is known as macroeconomics. Studied the economy as a whole is the subject matter of macroeconomics. Once again, so look at here. Macroeconomics, it studied the whole economy at the aggregate level. Studied the economy level as a whole is the main subject matter of macroeconomics. So these are all two faces in a single coin, micro and macroeconomics. In microeconomics, consumer or individual utilize money for satisfaction of his wants. Some of the important questions are taken consideration of an individual. What the goods I will purchase to satisfy our wants? How much money utilized for paying the buying of goods? How long I can work for earn money? These some questions individually kept in the mind for earn money that we can see in microeconomics. And also microeconomics, it helps us to understand the firm. A small business unit is known as firm, business firm. Or production of good unit is called a business firm. Producer produced the goods and services. When he conducts this production activity, he involves the all inputs. Inputs means factors of production. At the time, a producer determined the price fixation. So this is the individual concept. And also price fixation, it is determined belongs to the buyers and seller. In the place of buyer and seller, there is only one person, a single buyer, a single seller. Between these two, price fixation connected. So microeconomics, it discussed only individual concept, but macroeconomics, it not discussed individually. It discussed about whole. So macroeconomics, it discussed the economic level at the aggregative level. Macroeconomics, it studied the economic level as a whole is the main subject matter of macroeconomics. So in the time, government, it also played very important decisions making. What the government has important decisions here. One, collection of taxes. It's a macroeconomic concept. Taxes not collected by only a single person. Tax is collected by all the people. So it compared to our country. So this government take a decision in macro level. Collection of taxes. Second one, provide public amenities. So this is also provide all the peoples. Next, welfare activities. Next, regulation of inflation. Next, development of economic growth. These are all important 5 decisions are taken by the government. These decisions are taken in whole, not only one person or one state or one individual. Because macroeconomics explain these government decisions. See once again, collection of taxes, welfare activities, provide public amenities, regulation of inflation, and develop the economic growth. So these are all important decisions are taken by the government in whole of a country. Like that, macroeconomics discussed in the aggregate level. Microeconomics discussed only by it is only discussed individually. So this is micro and macroeconomics. For examination purpose, children, we listed the differentiate between the micro and macroeconomics. See, listen to me carefully. First, we discuss some important differentiate between micro and macroeconomics. First, microeconomics. It discussed the individually buying and selling. Micro. Macroeconomics, it studied the expenditure, national income in aggregative level. Microeconomics, it studied the individual expenditure. Macroeconomics, it studied the national income. Microeconomics, it studied the individually maximum satisfaction of wants. Macroeconomics, it studied price fixation, national income, expenditure at the national level. All are discussed in macro level. And also macroeconomics, it also studied about the problems of unemployment, labor, poverty, and other social problems, and also find out the solution. So these are all the main differentiate between the micro and macroeconomics. Okay, children, once again, listen to me. You can list this all differentiate between this micro and macro economics. First, microeconomics, it studied individually expenditure. Macroeconomics, it studied economic level at the aggregative expenditure, national income, and other. Microeconomics, it studied individual buying and selling. Macroeconomics, it studied price fixation. Microeconomics studied poverty, unemployment, labor problem, and other problems are discussed and find out the solution. Macroeconomics also studied about the national income, national expenditure, price fixation, and these are all individually discussed by the macroeconomics. So both are very important, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Okay? Yes. Now let us discuss another point of this topic: basic economic problems. Basic economic problems. See, scarcity. First we learn about this topic. Scarcity. What is scarcity? Scarcity means shortage of resources. Okay? Shortage of resources is called a scarcity. Wherever you go, we find out this. Scarcity of water, scarcity of electricity, scarcity of employment, scarcity of job, scarcity of literate people, whatever it may be, we find out in our surrounding. What is this that? Scarcity means shortage of sources. In the economy, basically we understood conservation of scarcity. In 9th standard, we will learn in the next year. Conservation of scarcity means not to waste the resources. Use them judicially. Right? That we call as conservation of resources or scarcity. Right? You will learn in the 9th standard. Not now. So, what is the topic here? Basic economic problems. There are three important basic economic problems are here. One, what to produce. In your text are there. How to produce. Next, for whom to produce. Yes, these are basic economic problems. What to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. Yes, firstly, what to produce. This is an individual problem of economy. What to produce? Necessary materials or necessary goods and services we must produce. There is a chance for selection for production of goods and services, whether maybe the food or weapon, production good or agricultural good, health or education. Which one we can produce? The good which is necessary or the good which is satisfying the wants of the consumer, that good must be produced. Food or weapon, agricultural good or industrial good, health or education, all are necessary, all are important. No one neglected, no one deleted. because every choice are necessary for human being. For that reason, basic economic problem is this: what to produce. Next, how to produce. This is also another important problem of economy. How to produce. This is consideration of inputs of all the factors of production is known as technology of production. It lies the combination of inputs of factors of production that is called as technology of production. So, whether maybe the land, labor, capital, and organization, no one deleted factors of production from listed because all factors of production are necessary. So, this is also the basic economic problem. Next, for whom to produce? This is also an individual economic problem. All the goods and services are not purchased by all the consumer because goods and services are manufactured at the time not consideration of the wants of the consumer. All the consumer are not satisfied by manufactured by the goods and services. So, the good and services produced to get the production of good produced by the producer. Then he start satisfying his wants. So, like that, basic economic problems are discussed here. What are they? What to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. These are all the basic economic problems. You know, children, in this lesson, from last class, we have studied Introduction to Economy. In the beginning, I was says economy means studied the economic activities of man. There are various advantages are here. In the last class, I was explained. With that, economy is also studied the utilization of the resources with judicially. So, not waste anyway. We consume all the resources with judicially. So, that also topic discussed or consideration in the economy. Like that. This is the lesson of Introduction to Economy.